So in today's video, I decided to do something very spontaneous and share with you guys how I feel about adopting a child. My name is Sasha and welcome you all to the Limbex channel. How do I feel about adopting a child after I've had a complete hysterectomy? So I've got 5 things that I just wanted to share with you guys today. It's really hard for me to come out and discuss this part of my life, but for me to be very transparent and for me to be very open about my struggle and how I got here is all about like sharing even the most awkward or even the most embarrassing or even the most sensitive side of what I am going through. I believe that if by me sharing my experiences with you guys, even if I reach out to just one person that is in my position as well, then I think I feel a bit okay about that. So the first one is shame. I have the shame of I'm not woman enough. How dare me want to adopt a child? I'm sorry. It's just a hard one. If I was woman enough, then I would have been able to have a child or bear a child or carry my own child. So that's one thing that I keep thinking in my head. I've had these discussions with my husband, with my sister, with my mom, and I'm really proud of my family that I was actually worried that they would be the ones thinking you're not woman enough, but I kind of like, I'm really proud of my family that they actually, even my dad actually said it once too, that to have a child doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the one to bear that child. It's still a child. If you adopt a child, it's a child. My mom says the same. And growing up a bit in Africa, partly in Africa, in those days, there was kind of like a shame about not being able to bear your own kids. I don't know if I dreamt this or if I imagined this, but there was kind of like a shame about not being able to carry your own kids. So I think when I came abroad, I think I'm still stuck in those days where there's kind of like not spoken subject when you're unable to have your own kids. And I suppose I thought my parents or my family would still be stuck in that mindset. But yeah, I am amazed that my family are actually kind of like gearing me on and making me understand that it's normal. It's not everyone that is destined to bear their own kids, and you adopting a child doesn't make you less of a woman. But in my head, I'm agreeing with them, and they're giving me examples, and but I'm still struggling with the shame that I wasn't woman enough to carry my own kids, and I tried, and even though I tried IVF once, I still beat myself up about that. And my sister said to me the other day, she says that she knows people that have actually tried IVF 5 times, 7 times before they succeeded or they never succeeded. So I think all that is the positives that I'm seeing from when I'm fighting with my head about the shame that I wasn't woman enough to bear my own kids, and then I'm looking at the positives that my family gives me, or they list out the positives of why I should not feel bad about not being woman enough to have my own kids. If you guys understand what I mean. And that's why in the beginning of the video I said this is just a chit chat about what Sasha's brain is thinking. So most of what I'm saying may not make sense to some of you or to all of you, but I just thought, say what you feel, and maybe to make you feel better, maybe to help someone else, I don't know. 2 is guilt. I feel guilty for the real parents of the child that I may be adopting. I just feel like if my number 1 says I'm not woman enough to bear my own kids, that shame of feeling not woman enough, and then my number 2 is the guilt for the real parents. So it feels like I'm taking someone else's child away from them, even though they decided to give the child up for whatever reason for adoption. And so I feel like not only am I not woman enough, and now I'm taking someone else's child from them. How is that a positive thing? When I think about my life with no kids, is that guilt for the real parents. What must have been the reason why you give up your child, and it's just that guilt that how dare me want to take someone else's child from them. So that's one thing that, excuse me. So that's the second thing that I'm struggling with, is guilt for the real parents of the kid or the child. I'm not worthy, am I? Am I worthy to take someone else's child from them, even though they've given that child up for adoption? So that's number 2 that I'm struggling with. This is harder than I thought. I thought this was going to be just very easy for me to share, but let me take a minute. I have to do this. I have to be strong. I have to be strong. I have to be strong for myself, and I have to be strong for women out there or men out there that are struggling to have their own kids or able to have their own kids. So I have to be strong, and I'm going to do this. Even though I'm gonna have a headache at the end of it all, but I'm gonna try and do this. And number 3 is fear of bonding with the child. So how do I bond with the child if one day they may decide they want to find their real parents? What if they then find the real parents and then fall in love with their real parents and then hate me, or not even see me as a parent? What do I do then? That's another thing I'm actually battling with in my head, is that fear that they would find their real parents one day and then they would leave me. So do I bond with that child? Do I see the child like I'm borrowing this child from their parents, their real parents, or I'm just a caretaker for the child? That's another thing I'm struggling with. Am I going to be known as just an auntie in the end? Would that child see me as their not real parents, but see me as their own parents? I don't know. I just don't know. I think I'm just struggling that if I bond with that child, I've seen cases on TV, I've watched TV programs where adopted kids, when they grow up, want to find their real parents. And to be honest, if I was adopted, I would want to know who my real parents are as well. So It's a hard one. It's a hard one, isn't it? How would I feel about who has brought me up? Oh, flashes, sorry. If I bond with that child, they grow up, they go to find their real parents, and then they say, sorry, I'm off to live with my real parents. That's just that fear. Number 4 is the feeling of rejection. And this time around is the feeling of rejection from the child, the adopted child. Do I tell them they were adopted? What age do you tell them that they adopted? And if you tell them they adopted, won't they have that feeling of rejection? Won't that affect their mental health? What do you do about that? How do I keep that a secret from my adopted child, that they were adopted, and won't they feel rejected? Or won't they feel their parents rejected them? And what do you do? Do you tell them they are adopted? Do you not tell them? All these things are going through my head. And the final one is, am I not too old to adopt a child? I had my hysterectomy last year. Right now, I can barely look after myself. I feel old. I feel my body aches. I feel my bones ache. I feel exhausted. I'm always sweating. I feel so tired. So I feel in my mind, in my head, in my body, I've added so much weight. Though, am I not too old to adopt a child? This year I'll be 40. Is 40 not too old to have a child? What kind of parent would I be to this child at the age of 40? I thought I could do this video, but I can't say anymore. I can't say anything else. Like, I can't say anything else. I just don't want to break down on, I just don't want this video to feel very depressing. But if you're someone out there who've never had kids, how do you feel? I'm kind of like getting choked up to speak about it, and that's why I'm just gonna end the video, and maybe some other time I'll be in the right frame of mind to talk about this. But this is one of the reasons why I kind of decided to start up a YouTube channel or a Facebook channel like this, is because I think it's giving me something a reason to hang on. Because it's sure damn not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to stay positive all the time. So yeah, so am I too old to adopt a child? But this should be kind of like I want this video to be kind of like empowerment, or a video to inclusive video, if that makes sense. I want people that are going through similar stuff like I am, or that know someone that is going through similar stuff like I am, to know that they are not alone, and there are people out there that are going through this, and they're even going through worse stuff. So this is just 5 things that are just going through my head, and yeah, about adoption. There's more to this. I will eventually leave more videos and share a little more about the backstories behind my journey. I will probably make spontaneous videos like this, so I may not have makeup on, so I apologize because it's still early in the morning, and yeah, so I just want to be as real as possible because this is real life struggles. I think by sharing our stories, our journeys, our struggles, may empower someone else to share theirs as well, or to know that they are not alone. Because sometimes it can be like a very, very tiny space where you feel that there's no other person going through what you're going through. You may be thinking it, because like I know sometimes I actually like Google people unable to have kids and try to look at their lives and like, okay, they look happy and all that. So things like that kind of like gives me that comfort, knowing that I'm not by myself. Like there are people, they are famous people that have not had their own kids, and they, like if they are unable to have kids, then it's okay for me, an ordinary person, not to have kids as well. So I think sometimes that's how I kind of like cope, is knowing that I'm not the only one. So yeah, so it's really important to share your stories. You may not want to do it publicly, you may want to do it with your close family. Please always talk about how you feel with people that you feel comfortable talking to about your feelings. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. On YouTube, it's free to subscribe. Just click that subscribe button there and subscribe. And also don't forget to turn on your post notification button, so you'll be the first to get a notification on whenever we put out a new video. We'll see you guys on our next video. I know I keep saying this, try and keep smiling. My mom says, smile, you're captured. So yeah, mama, I'm smiling.